Welcome to Family Friday. I continue with Ephesians 5 and its insight into the role of husbands. If you've missed what I've said earlier about husbands and wives based on Ephesians chapter 5, just go to northoakscoc.org and click on the Resources tab, and then click on the Messages from Ray Davis tab. Now, in verses 28 through 31 of Ephesians 5, the idea is husbands are loving themselves when they love their wives. Listen to the text, please. Again, Ephesians chapter 5. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hates his own flesh, but he nourishes and tenderly cares for it, just as Christ does for the church, because we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Now, I was reading from the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition. So the first main idea in this text is treat your wife as you treat your own body. Now, most men look in a mirror and see Tarzan, or at least the way they were in their physical prime. And they nourish their bodies with food, drink, and exercise, rest, and relaxation. And men tenderly care for their bodies, though they'll deny that, by taking care of wounds, scars, washing, shaving, getting their haircuts, by clothing the body. Now, their fashion may not reach the high levels of women, but most men I know try to create an image of themselves with the clothes that they wear. Now, husbands, if this is what you do for yourself, your own body, then make sure your wife can do it for herself. Provide for her so that her needs of food, shelter, clothing, exercise, rest, and relaxation are readily available for her. The second major point in this text is treat your wife as you treat your own body, because she is a part of you. The biblical writer stresses this point in two ways. First, the relationship between husband and wife, he says, is like that between Christ and his bride, the church. The members of the church, that is the believers, are part of Christ's body now on earth. Christ is the head, and the believers are the hands, the feet, the fingers, the arms, the legs of Christ on earth. The bride of Christ and wives, earthly wives, are to reflect their respective husbands. They can do this because Christ and husbands provide all the needs for their respective wives. The connection between Christ and his bride is one body. A head, that is Christ, and a body, which is the church. Where one is, the other is close by, just like can't separate this too far. The same ought to be true about marriages among believers. Husbands and wives are one body, joined as one. That is why loving one's wife is actually loving oneself. The biblical writer then quotes Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, which is the man of Eden's reaction when he is introduced to the helping partner that the Lord God has made from one of his ribs. And what does the man say? This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, for out of man this one was taken. So the Lord God made all types of creatures. If you go back to Genesis chapter 2, from the ground, he brought them up, presented them to the man, and the man named them. Some of the animals he saw are a joy to watch. Some of those animals are competitors. Some have strength to do labor. A few may be sources of comfort, but not one could relate to man, that is, his body, his mind, or his psyche. And so God made a special helping partner from a body part from the man, not from the dirt, but from the man. And these two, that is, male and female, are two different people, yet their relationship is supposed to be joined as one. Thus, husbands are to focus on loving, nourishing, and tenderly caring for their wives, for they are a part of the husband, just as the body is connected and joined and a part of the head. The differences between husband and wife should not be any greater than a body with flesh and a head. Like I say, there's only a few inches that I can get in between here. And the quickest way for husbands to do this for their wives is to listen to what they have to say. I'll have more to say about this next time. But until then, husbands, love yourself by loving your spouse.